Should you quit your job? Is your life satisfying? Is what you are doing in your 9 to 5, I mean, is it painful? Is it what you want to be doing? Okay, country life isn't for everybody, but here's my thoughts. You want to be in control of your life. The normal life that we're all sold on is you grow up as a kid, and then, high school, trade school, junior college, college, whatever. You go out and then you get a job. And, you know, it's so unsatisfying. And today there really isn't any reason to not do what you're passionate about. And you young people especially, everybody, whatever age you are, but especially young folks, if you're living at home with your parents and you don't have any risk, you're here and you want to be here, and the risk to jump over there is tiny because you're living at home. Maybe you have some school debt or that, but you don't have much baggage in your life. And as time goes on and you get in a relationship, you get a lease agreement, you get a mortgage, you get a car payment, you get married, you get kids, and as you progress through life and you're in this job that is unsatisfying, it's not what you want to do, whether you're sitting at a desk typing on a computer or you're in a factory or whatever it is, it's just, jobs are just suck the life out of you, and then you just hate your life from 9 to 5, and you just can't wait for the weekends, and then you get home to do all the responsibilities of your life that you have, and then before you know it, you're back to Monday and the 9 to 5 again, and then you're looking forward to a vacation, and then before you know it, that's it. So when you're young, do it right away. Start your passion today, because you're at home with your parents, and that risk to doing what you want to do is tiny. And again, as you progress through the car loans and home loans and kids of your own, thinking about going to college, and more and more and more, that risk, that gap gets bigger and bigger. And when you're 40 or 45, you're like, how could I possibly quit my job? Even though you know that you should quit your job and follow your passion. But that gap is so big. And then later in life, as you get 60, 65, 70, the gap shrinks back down, because now you're retired, so you don't have the job. Your kids are grown and on their own. They're having their own families and their own jobs. And you maybe don't even have a home payment anymore. Your mortgage is paid off, and maybe you don't have a car loan. So the gap shrinks down, and it's easier to make that risk to do your passion, but now you've run out of time. So that's just silly. So the best time to start was probably 20 years ago, but the second best time to start is right now, today. So, find what you're passionate about, what you want to do, and you're in your job life, but carve out a little bit of time to do that thing that you love, that you're passionate about, and plan ahead to whether you're on your homestead with your 5 acres and your pond in the front yard, and sure, it's sweat equity to work hard, but you're working for yourself, and it's so much more satisfying. You build something with your own hands, and you can look at it and you say, I created that. And then, maybe you can then sell that to someone else. And just, a project type of thing. And whether it's chickens or sewing or baking or, working online, whatever it is, you're doing it because you want to do it. You're not doing it because some boss is telling you to do it, and you're worrying about if the HR manager is going to call you down to scold you for something, and you want next weekend off because it's a soccer game for your kids, and your boss says, nope, you have to work. And it's like, why is that the priority when it should be your family? So it can be done. So carve out that little piece, that time slot. Maybe give up an hour of Netflix or an hour of movies, or an hour of your video games that you play to relax in the evening, whatever it is, and work on that thing that's your passion and build that time more and more, and then start cutting back on, if you have a big house, maybe get a smaller house with a few less bedrooms in it. It's okay. Each person doesn't have to have their own space in the house. If you've got a fancy car, a Lexus or a Mercedes or a BMW, whatever it is, get a Honda or a Toyota or a Ford or a Chevy, and maybe an older car where you don't even have a payment, and just minimize that job life that you get caught up in that the hamster in the wheel, that you get a little house and a bigger house and a bigger house and a McMansion house and a fancier car and a fancier car and a fancy car, and why? Just because everybody else is doing it, and then you're just working and working and working for what? For a job. So stop thinking that way and think about your passion. Think of the not normal life, what you really want to do, and you can do it. It's possible. We're not anything special. And we walked away. I was in my 40s, and I just said, that's it. This normal life is not the life that I'm going to live anymore. And so you can do that. And find what is your passion. And again, it doesn't have to be a home in the country. Our house, you're not going to believe this, but we found our place. We paid less than $50,000 for a house on 5 acres with the pond in the front yard. And sure, it needed a new roof, and sure, the plumbing wasn't working, and there's all kinds of things that needed to be fixed up, but sweat equity, just you can do it yourself. So find a raw piece of land or a piece of land that needs to be fixed up. And the farther you can get away from civilization, of course, the less expensive it's going to be. And the state that we're in, no income tax. And our property tax is like $300 a year. So those are the kinds of things that you can figure out. And do more and more of what your passion is, and do less and less of that normal job world life, and you can bring that risk, that gap closer together, so that leap isn't so far that if you don't make it, you're in trouble. And then you can cut the ties and make the jump, and you don't have to worry that you can't make it back. So again, please don't let this job life control you. That step back, take a breath, carve out an hour or so in your day and your time, do what you love, make things with your hands, put your sweat into it, and like it's running in my eyes, and do what you love. Find your 5-acre piece of property or whatever it is. If you like a pond, you want to be on the lake. If you want, and minimize that normal real world job, car, clothes, house, traffic, circle that you're just going round and round in the wheel in, and you're just not getting anywhere, and then it's gone. Spend more time with your kids. If you want to go to the soccer game, you plan that in, and you can do it. It's not hard to do. So should you quit your job? In my opinion, yes, but don't necessarily quit it today. If it costs you $10,000 a month to pay your bills between your mortgage and your insurances and your car payments and everything else that you have, you can't just say bye-bye right now today, but close that gap down. Peel off the things that you can peel off to reduce your expenses. Do the thing that you're passionate about and grow it to 20,000, 30,000, whatever you need, and bring that gap closer together so that you can jump to it. I know that you can do it. I'm nobody special, and we did it, so you can do it too. And again, country, whatever it is, obviously the more you get out of the urban areas, the lower cost things are, and be as far from the things that you need to be from, but yet is still manageable. And close that gap, minimize the risk. Start as early in life as you can, but the next best choice is to start today if you're already, in your 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever, to close that gap down. You can do it. Quit your job, yes. Do what you're passionate about. Don't work in that unfulfilling, unsatisfying technology job where you do this all day. It's just silly. I know you can do it. And if you find this helpful, subscribe and watch another video. I would really like to share with you more real things and more informational type things to help you live your dream passion life.